from. Let's let that go. Cool. So I'm Tom from Thomas James Estate Agents. So we are part of the Keller Williams Group. We are obviously part of the ALC Group, and we are in North London. We are based in somewhere called Palms Green and Winchmore Hill, which is N21, N13 area. I've been with Keller since 2021, when I started as a single agent. I then joined with my now business partner, James. And we went at that point, I know we're all powered by, but I'm still old money. So powered by, so we brand as Thomas James, powered by Keller Williams. And that's why you see it slightly differently from us, similar to your, maybe your Michael Bailey's or someone like that. So that's how we are. First of all, please do ask questions as we go along, because there's not that many of us. I'll make it nice and short and snappy, hopefully. And then also for people that then end up having to watch this, is that I am no social media expert. In fact, I would arguably say that I actively dislike it at times. Which isn't great when you're doing a presentation like this. But realistically, I want to make sure that you guys know that this is not my jam. That I'd much rather be out there doing a listing presentation or whatever. However, part of this is, hopefully this presentation is here for you guys to go, actually, this is how I want to do it. Like, this is what I'm willing to go and do or not do. And this is how it can benefit my business. And maybe that's what I'm trying to give you guys, or if anything, I can give you. So that's what we're going for. And it is a bit trite that I'm saying from 100 views to hundreds of thousands of views. To put it in context, we've had 2 videos that have done over 100,000 views. Okay, and that's the reality of it. However, regularly we will get on. So I'm talking on Instagram, and I can do something more on Facebook, but we are predominantly focusing on Instagram here because I don't know much about so much on Facebook, but we also use Facebook in the same way. We get on average sort of 5 to 6 to 10 to 15,000 views, depending on what type of property it is. On all of our reels. So the engagement's a little bit higher than it was, which is great. And I suppose that's what I'm trying to let you guys know what we did to get that. I put a couple of screen grabs on here from a couple of videos that we've recently done, or not recently, actually. This one here on the right-hand side, for those of you who can't see the presentation, it's 205,000 views on this particular reel, with 2,000 likes and lots of saves and 105 comments, which is good engagement levels for us. I mean, anyone in social media would be like, yeah, whatever. But for us, we do no paid ads really. So that is, that's what we're working to. If you're interested, we will be going to see we'll have a look at some of these as well at the same time, and I'll explain what seems to work for us and what doesn't. For those that you can see a presentation, does that make a bit of sense? Is that okay? Just a sense check here. Some noddings of heads. Cool. Super. Yeah. Okay. Wicked. Okay, let me just get on here. I need to close you guys down because I can't move on to the next slide. Okay. So, biggest social media struggles. Anyone willing to shout some out, and I'll jot some down just so that we make sure we do actually cover them off, because there's no point in me doing this and then I don't actually come back to anyone. Got any biggest social media struggles?
Yeah, I'd definitely say about the not knowing what to post.
Okay, not knowing what to post.
Well, yep. George,
not knowing what to post. Yeah, that's good. I'll cover that off.
I'm not a fan of social media full stop, but I know I have to do it, so that's why I'm here. So anything
cool. Okay, that's fine. Again, yeah, great. So
a bit more relaxed with it, I suppose.
Yeah, that's fine.
I have a question about hashtag use.
Okay, Peter, that's fine. I will try and help you out there. As I say, I'm not the most technical, but I can try and help you there as well. That's fine. Okay, we can run through that. Okay, cool. And I put some, maybe there'll be people out there potentially that may be similar to me, like not enough time, which is always one that I think is, I mean, I've always found it really relevant. I don't know about anyone else. Unsure what to post, but views, but no business, right? So what's the point of doing it, right? You know, what's the point of wasting all this time and then getting nothing from it? And that is kind of key. But that comes from you, and that's what you have to subscribe to, right? And so that's what we will work through a little bit, and I'll come back to those particular points because I think they're more than relevant here, and I think they're probably arguably you know, the most important. So yeah, let me just move down to the next slide. Forgive me. Why can't I do that? Okay, so. This is a caveat very quickly. Social media is always evolving. I'm learning. We're not perfect. We keep on going anyway. And the idea is that you don't get completely left behind, and you stay in the game and you evolve with it. So I always used to think that everything had to be perfect, and I'm like that anyway. And I hate putting stuff that I don't feel confident with. And I think that I would say you have to get into the box where you feel like, I don't mind putting this out. I wouldn't go to like, yeah, I love this, but I don't mind putting this out. Because if you don't feel confident in putting it out, i.e. you think, oh, I'm coming across badly here, or whatever it is, then you probably won't do it. So narrow it down and go, actually, that's okay. I don't mind that. So let me try that. And that's how we've sort of done it, because then it makes things a little bit easier to actually do it. Okay. The reason why we do it, so that you know, is that what's happened, and why Claire said to do this presentation, is that it's now one of our value propositions within our business to social media. And the reason being is because we've hit a critical mass within social media that allows us to say, hey, look, we're better than all the other agents on this. Okay, so when we go to a market appraisal, I take an iPad with me that doesn't need Wi-Fi connection, and I've got a list of notes, and I click them through some of our best videos, but not as in like, oh, look, we're great. It's like, this is what it starts with, this is when it goes to, this is what happens when you get listed. And anyone that uses social media will go, okay, this is better than the rest. So suddenly it's taken 1.5 years. So that's the first thing I would probably say, is you can't do this sporadically, and we'll come back to that. But after 1.5 years of effort, we are now getting 2 or 3 viewings before the property goes on the portals. And we are getting inquiries out. So last week was quite a seminal week. I got 2 valuations off the back of our social media. And that is from someone going, I mean, it's joint. I've seen you around, I got your leaflet, and I also checked you out on social media. We love you on social media. I went to one flat and they were like, yeah, this is what we've been wanting, this social media side of things, right? So that's positive, and it means that you're generating something. And ultimately, I think what we also have to remember is a lot of people don't like or subscribe or watch your channels or follow you, but they do see you. A key point is that we're actually slightly off brand, but we are actually going to a high street office ourselves, as in we're on the high street. We're renovating that right now, and we put a picture of us ripping up the floor. And probably I then saw like 5 or 6 different people I was socializing that evening, and everyone said, oh, I've seen you moving office. And I don't even know that they followed us, but they knew that was going on. So I had someone in the gym being like, oh, you popped into my feed. I don't even know what that means. He was like, oh, I saw you popped into my feed. I was like, sorry, you're just gonna have to tell me what that means. He's like, oh, I got someone like your property came up, and I was like, I knew that guy. He's in the gym. So it means that it spreads. I don't understand it. Again, like Peter, you're going to be like, what's the hashtag? Like, but I don't actually understand it myself. But this is where you might want to go to and why it might be relevant. But I am also very much aware that there are statistics that say 95% of buyers start online, and that is on Rightmove and Zoopla, right? And on the market and prime location. That is not on social media. However, 65% of home buyers are on social media, and they discover new properties on social media. And I think that is more key now, because, and that is from Rightmove, by the way. So we're finding, so I had a person come and view a property, and I've got no idea why. And she said she only now searches on social media for property, which is a small amount of people. But first of all, I'm like, why? Would you do that? But second of all, yeah, okay, that might start happening. But likewise, social media might disappear. So, yeah. And on that, I think that my one takeaway potentially from this whole thing is that you're going to have to commit to it, annoyingly, but only commit to what you know you can do every week. Okay. So George, I know. So I'm going to take George as an example. Very busy man, probably doesn't really think about wanting to do social media that much. Forgive me if I'm wrong, George, but and probably is in the fringes of your day that you're like, oh, I'll quickly do this, or I've got to remember to do that, right? It's all in the fringes, and that's how it works. And that isn't sustainable. But if I said to George, like once a week, you've got to post yourself doing X, walking along the road to evaluation, just one, and that's all you've got to do, you'd go, yeah, I'll probably do that. Yeah. And all it has to be is like, I'm here along Orchard Avenue and I'm going to evaluation. And then if that's all you're being asked to do, and you can commit to that every week, do that. Don't do a plan that is so unachievable that you'll never start it. It's pointless, because you've got to do it regularly. And I think, Melanie, for you, like that's probably the most important thing. I don't like social media. Like if you said, I'm going to take a local post of my local area once a week, and I've planned it out for the next 10 weeks. And all I need to do is when I'm going for a coffee, I go into this coffee shop and I'm going to do it. Do it, but just commit to it. Because what people don't like on social media is sporadic posting, because the algorithms don't like it, as far as I understand. Again, someone will be sat there listening to this and being like, Tom's rubbish, but that's what we've found. Okay. So don't start and think I need to be like this person. Don't look at what we've done and gone, right, I need to do what they're doing. Go, what can I do that's achievable for me? And I'll commit to it. Is everyone all right if I show you some of our content now? Yeah. Okay. Super. There's some nods. I'm going to take a drink of water. Sorry, guys. Okay. I don't know why this is smaller here. I have no idea. So in effect, we use our content to do we use our listings to do 6 posts. Okay. Again, be careful. I wouldn't go, this is what we've got to do, because there's better ways of doing it, but I'm just sharing you what we decided to do. So obviously listings are leverage. So it's your easiest leverage. And at the time of deciding to do this, we had more time because we weren't taking on that many properties. Okay. So we did a coming soon video, which I'll show you, a sneak peek video, then an informational post, or local post is what we call them now, a launch post, okay, an exchange completion post, and a personal post. Now, the personal post is not to do with the property, but I put it on there so that you can see. Maybe that just makes it nice and easy that one listing leads to 5 posts, 6 posts, if you take the personal post as well, but definitely 5 posts. So what that looks like is there's a number of reels, right? So those are the videos, the short videos. There's some just normal posts or pictures. And then depending on the personal one, you can decide what you want to do. So we try to schedule those. And what we do, and it works for us, is that we set a 2-week schedule. On a Friday, every other week, we sit down and we go, cool, this is what we've got coming up. And we literally get a piece of paper and we write the 2-week schedule out, and we're like, this is what we're posting, right? This is roughly what we're going to try and do, because part of your effort is to get the content. Okay. So if you can if you know what's coming up, so if you look in your diary, like Monday, I'm going to evaluation here, I can do my valuation video. You know, Wednesday, I'm going to do the photos of this property. I'm going to get there and I'm going to do a quick tour around it. Okay. Then you can start planning your day. and you start planning your week, and you start blocking that in your diary, so it becomes a diary entry. I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm teaching you to suck eggs here. If I am, I'm sorry, but listen, this is how it's worked for us. Okay, so I'm going to start with this. Hopefully this will jump to Instagram. So this is a coming soon video. We actually don't have time to do these anymore because we're too busy. But if I was less busy, then we would do them. And that's it. Okay. And that's all of this, with the exception of one video I'm going to show, is done on iPhones, our phones. Okay. And that's edited in Instagram. Okay. Now, what I would say, and this is a huge caveat, and you're probably going to look at me and go, "But me, I wish you told me this before." We have someone who works for us on social media. Okay. Right. I want to be completely clear with that. But we also decided to pay that person and not pay ourselves for the best part of 9 months. Okay. Because we knew it was important. Additionally, is that person doesn't get any content for us. Okay. So we have to drive all the content. They just will work with us to make sure that the post gets scheduled. Now, if you're social media savvy, you can post those, and you can use all the platforms that enable you to post regularly. And in fact, I think Rex, our new CRM system, will do that, and you can post through them. So I know this seems like, oh yeah, Tom, but you can do this by yourself. Like, we did do it by ourselves. This is how we did it. But I would also say is that if you know you're not good at X, which is sitting down and then processing it, get someone in your team, or not in your team, but in either yourself, learn to do it, or get someone that you know that's happy to help you out to do it, or get someone and say, right, I'm going to give you this to do. Now, VAs are available on part-time basis. You can say, I want a VA for 5 hours a week, and they're just doing your social media posts. There'll be people in your sphere of influence that will do this for you for not that much money if you're providing the content. So that was the coming soon video. I've put this sneak peek video in, and I have a feeling it will go to there. I don't know whether you can actually see this or not.
You know a property's lovely when you see it on a day like today, which is pretty damp and miserable, and it still looks great. This is Burford Gardens. I'm Tom from Thomas James Estate Agents. Let's take a look in. Packed with period features. I love the tessellated hallway. It's been decorated gloriously. Calming but modern. I really love it. It's traditional layout. You've got the kitchen to the rear, but you've got this nice little extension to the back where you can put your table. It leads out onto this beautiful 90-foot rear east-facing garden. It's been extended to the roof, so it gives you 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. This is a landscaped garden, and it's got potentially one of the nicest decorated garden rooms I've seen for some time. It's coming to market for £925,000. For more information, do get in contact. Look at that.
Okay. Listen, it's cringe me hearing that, myself. I hate it, but there you go. Now, that video is the one with over 200,000 views, right? So that went semi-viral on Instagram. And you can see, pretty shoddy video. I've done a fairly average voiceover over the top of it, and we filmed it on an iPhone, me and James, in 2 takes in about half an hour. And that's genuine. We didn't spend longer, because what we do, so that you know, is that we attend every photo shoot unless it's an empty property. If the vendor is there, we attend the photo shoots half an hour before, and we get our video walkthroughs so that it's ready to go before the photos arrive, before the photographer arrives. Now that just got picked up, and it went absolutely crazy, and I've got no idea why. I can't tell you. Is it better than others? No. Is it a nice property? Yes. Is it one of our nicest? No. But that's how it works. However, that would never have happened if we didn't stay consistent with it. You never know what's going to happen. And you may be thinking, oh, well, that's a really nice property, that's why it happened. That's actually not true, because one of our smallest flats in East Barnet, on for £275,000, was the first one which went viral. And we only got hundreds of views, and then suddenly we posted one video, again, nothing special, and that went up to like 5,000-6,000 views. And then suddenly things started to change a little bit for us. Okay, that's that. I feel like I'm blowing my own trumpet, but I'm not, because there's nothing massively interesting here. Right, we've got informational post. Okay, this might be a local post. This might be something in the local area, but it's not all about property. What you don't want, as I understand it, is just all to be about property. You know, if it's constantly about property, then it drives people insane. They're just not interested in it. So we try and think about what we're doing in our lives. And just so happened, I mean, this is quite a good one because I was running a quiz. Okay, fine. And we put together a video of the quiz. And there was no music to this, but you can see, again, it's nothing amazing, but you know, that's that. And again, you're not seeing loads of insights on here. This is just that's an information post. You might do an information post of a cafe that's opening, or so if you think of information post, is look, we're launching this property, right? And this tennis club that I did this at is around the corner from this property, right? So it's local to them. So it's a local post that they might like. If you've got a local, I mean, we've even done churches. Like, it sounds ridiculous, but when we first started, we didn't have any content. So we're like, we're launching here. There's a church at the top of the road. I'll just do a literal sweep of the church and be like, oh, there's a nursery school at the top here. It's a local post. We then list. That is just pictures. Okay. And that is just the pictures put together with hashtags. Peter, we'll work through those in a sec. And that's it. Oh, shoot. Okay, let me go back here. And then you've got the exchange completion post. Obviously, this is completion post. We try and group them together. It's really hard to sometimes go, right, you know, we want to do this. It's probably the hardest thing we find, because a lot of people now for us want to just come and collect the keys from the office or whatever. We don't go out there. And hopefully you guys, you know, most of you still going out there for completions, but we find it annoying because we have to go out there and give that, but we do it. And we do try and do it because we do then post a couple at a time if we can. And we just go, it's for our Hall of Fame, and that's what we do. And then the personal post is, I mean, it's easy. If you've got no properties on, it's very easy to do a local and a personal post. Okay. It's really easy. Like, even if you're going, I'll do a local post one week and I'll do a personal post the next week. I mean, listen, I put my daughter on there. It's completely up to you whether you want to or not. There's sometimes videos, there's sometimes reels. This is us away when we went away for a little while. I can't even remember what that was, but there you go. And you can see here, we tag Peter, like anything that is relevant in the photos or videos, okay, is really important. If you've got tessellated tiles in the hallway, put tessellated tiles. If you've got, like, you know, even bad things are okay. It's like, you know, you can put in like stuff like render, you know, or it sounds ridiculous, but you can tag away. And that's what we do. Let me just go down a second here.
Tom, can I ask a quick question?
Oh, please do. I'd love you to
That's obviously the post of the property till it launches. What about afterwards? What about after it's launched? How often do you then post that property?
We don't.
Okay. Is that because you sell them all in the first week?
Because it sounds ridiculous, right? If you've got a sticking property, fine, you can repost it, which we have done. Or let's say a property relaunches, goes under offer and relaunches. We will repost it, but we don't, because people don't really want to see it. You know, realistically, if we don't have a like, oh, we'll post this again, because people aren't really wanting like reusable content all the time. And if it's the same stuff, then that's fine. If you go out there and do a new video on it, then why not? If you only have a few listings and you're like, I want to make this longer and I want to do more videos, then do a internal, do a garden, you know, and then drop that 2 separate weeks. But yeah, we don't repost unless there's a price change, like a dramatic price change, or it's come back to market after an extended period of time under offer.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. So I'm just checking the time. Okay, cool. So the reality of this is that we schedule the shoots, we plan the properties, we try and make the content streamlined so that we can get it, and we have invested in it. It's by far and away the best thing that we've done, yet realistically, we can't really tell you what the returns are. And it also is something that is probably one of the only things we've done consistently and made sure that we've gone, this is what we are going to do. Right? Out of everything else, like, you know, I can honestly say we've gone, right, we are using this and when we're doing it and we're making it work. But what I would say to all, and there's people out there hopefully that might watch this video, if you're sitting here going, well, hold on, I haven't got that many properties on, you know, I've got social media and rada, sort other things out first. Right? If you don't have a half decent listing presentation or you're not out there knowing how to list, don't do this. Right? If you don't know like how to upload your terms or get onto Vision or use Nurture, or that you have an applicant or you're working your database, my honest opinion is don't spend your time faffing about with social media unless you go, I'm going to do one thing a week, but that still gives me enough time. Right? Because you can add to social media, but those other things are important. Like, who wants to see you darting around town, but you don't get any listings because you're not putting any effort into actually ringing the people you want to ring? Okay, so that's what I would always suggest. If you've got a long list of things to do and you're trying to, you know, clear them off to make to build this life and, you know, become a, you know, estate agent, a realtor with Keller Williams, like, make your life a whole lot easier and just say, I'm doing one post a week. Right. And I'm going to do that, but I'm going to get all these other shit done as well. And then I'm going to come back to it and I will add. Okay. This is me adding, like, this is because we're doing that. You know, we're adding, like, we've started to use YouTube a lot more. That was something we couldn't do before. So, and now people follow us on YouTube all the time and people watch our videos. And I put a video up thinking I'll make it public, but no one's going to watch it. And I'll get 250 views on it because people now know what we're doing. So, but I would just say, take the pressure off yourself, right, completely, and go, this is what I'm going to do. This is my one post a week. Right. I did want to quickly tell you, we do what basically about 6 months ago, we got a couple of really nice properties on and we wanted to showcase them. And so we said, oh, let's just try a paid ad on Instagram, see what happens. Realistically, it doesn't generate any more viewings than your listing might already have. But what it does do is Instagram like you more. And so obviously then what happens is it's perpetuating, and we only spend like £50, but it's an interesting one because before then we didn't really we never spent any money on social media posting. But now and again, if we start to get a good people, you know, if you get 1,000, 2,000 people doing it, our suggestion, again, please, there'll be people out there and know what they're talking about. But like, we just put 50 quid in, and then what we find is our organic growth goes massively from it, for whatever reason. And
is that just from the boosted posts, Tom, or are you actually creating a proper ad?
No, just a boosting post.
Boost,
yeah, and I think they just prefer you. That's what happens, is they like, oh, these guys are spending. It's ridiculous, but that's actually the reality of it. We had one particular video that that did quite well. Right, also, just to let you know, this is divulging, right, a little bit. We have tried to make things more professional, but people don't like them as much. That's actually genuinely. Okay, so this is, okay, so don't get me wrong, this is property, like, this is nice property, okay? Let me just do that.
Winchmore Hill, a beautiful renovation. Let's take a look. Nice thing about this, despite it being 200 years old, genuinely has just been made into a home. It's not listed, it is in a conservation area, and just the windows are insane in here. This is the master bedroom. I've got luxury hotel feel, great storage, demonstrated nicely. Some big old windows in here, and some expensive blinds to get fitted. You really are taking on a slice of history if you're interested in this property. The next person is just a custodian. Really, they really are just there to improve the property for the next generation. There's nothing else like it in Winchmore Hill that I know of, and in the surrounding areas. So if you are interested, you want to take a look, then obviously please do get in contact. It'd be a pleasure to show you around. It's a genuine love for me, this property. So please do get in contact.
Okay,
How holy art thou?
Sorry, forgive me. Let me just get rid of that
case.
off there. So you can see, right, this reached like 100,000 or well, views 100 odd thousand, but the ad got 5,000 of those. So it just, and this didn't go as well as Burford Gardens, which I showed you earlier. So I suppose what I'm trying to say is you don't need to spend this money doing this rubbish, because obviously we spent more money doing that than us just wandering around with a camera.
Tom, what do you use?
And I think that that's what people don't realize, is that you can do it. Are you guys happy for me to show you one more video?
Tom, just a quick question. What do you use for your
Sorry, you're hearing my voice all the time. So this is the first one that went viral. I mean, come on, I'll be realistic. You just do that.
Come on in. So for those that don't know me, I'm Tom from Thomas James Estate Agents, with some pretty drastic hat hair here. Going a half landing window, really nice and bright apartment. We're going to go straight into the bedroom here. A bit of gain space, some desk and a bit of coat storage. Really well organised, nice and bright. Take a look at that. Follow me out here, you can see how well appointed the bathroom has got, on those special toilets with a bidet. In here, you've got a really peaceful living dining room area. Come on through, the kitchen is really well spec'd, but also it's got some great little height.
So listen, that again, sorry for you looking at hearing my voice all the time, but realistically, like, that was one of the first videos that went a bit crazy for us. And I'm talking crazy as in like 5,000. It's nothing special. Like, literally, you can see what we're doing. Like, you can see that you don't need to be like amazing at it. The only thing that I would say, and you know, rightly or wrongly, we don't do the reason why we can do it quickly and generate the content is because we come back and do a voice note, which then becomes the voiceover. Okay, so when you're at a property, you're not miking yourself up and going, oh, look at this, it's right, and then cocking it up and having to do it 15 times, right? We just take the video and we shout at each other. You know, James is videoing, he's like, walk that way, and then you're going to be saying about the cooker here. Okay, cool, do that. And that's all we do. And then it means that we can then all we then do is we just do a voiceover at the end. So it means that we can do that in our own time. And that's because we knew that we weren't going to be able to do this whole welcome to Rada, because you could cock it up and said you have a million takes, so it doesn't work for your day. And yeah, that's what, you know, how we learnt it. Cool. Right. I know we're very short on time, and I'm also aware that people that are logging in this expect someone that's amazing in social media, but I'm sorry, it is just how this is our journey and how we found it. So yeah. Do we have it? Peter, I wanted to come back to you because actually there's two things I wanted to say, is that the hashtagging is obviously done by someone who works our social media for us, and they're called Laura. Now, I didn't speak to Laura before doing this because, you know, I don't want her to feel like she has to do anything, but I'm sure if someone wanted a call with her, considering it's a service she offers, she might be willing to have a short conversation with someone about like how they might be able to improve their social media. I haven't checked with her. I can ask her, and if anyone's interested in that, then of course, I'm sure that's something that she would be at least, you know, willing to do. And she might be in a better place, Peter, to describe to you how best to hashtag, what to hashtag. However, ChatGPT, if I have to do my own post, I use ChatGPT and say, what's the best hashtags for this video, which is showing a property with this. Sometimes I insert the property description and say, can you generate me 25 hashtags?
Okay, yeah, that's good. I think my main question is, when I've been sort of researching the use of hashtags, I think one would think that more hashtags were better, but there seems to be advice saying that Facebook is generally, but actually some reports say even one hashtag is better than even two, whereas Instagram they say about 8 to 10 is optimal.
Totally. Yeah, we work on 8 to 10,
about 1 or 2.
10 to 12, something like that. Yeah, totally. That's how we work. And I think that's
really low. So
yeah, and Facebook's the same. Like, really, it doesn't quite work the same. The way we view it, and rightly or wrongly, is that for us, Facebook is for people to see what we're doing. Okay, so that's for people to see what we're doing then it doesn't generate much interest. It's just showing. Whereas Instagram generates genuine interest, valuations, and viewings. We've had a meeting about TikTok. It's not something we're going to do, but we are now actively investing in YouTube, because YouTube are doing shorts. And therefore we are getting more comments on YouTube. We know we're doing well because we're now being trolled by people. You know, we're getting nasty comments, you know, like, so we must be doing reasonably well. So yeah, I suppose the only thing I would say to people listening to this, and I know a lot of you on maybe are already doing a lot of stuff, is that like doing nothing is actually a genuine thing here. Like, do you know, like not doing anything about social media is a decision you can make. It might be wise, it might not. But if you haven't got your ducks in a row in other areas, then I would suggest doing nothing is a genuine option. And just take it off the list until you've sorted other things.
I agree with that. Thank you.
Tom, what do you
please.
use for your software to post and do the captions? Is it Veed or Loom or?
We don't. It's all done by hand, so we still do it. So I know that we use Instagram, like the service that they provide for the videos. Okay, because that will caption up straight away. The editing of the photos and videos is done. I will have to post that software. I do have it on my phone somewhere, but it's really easy. You just move it around and put the videos in the order you want to. It's super easy. You can do it. Even I can do it, and I'm not kind of tech savvy. But we schedule posts using Instagram or Meta.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, can I have one more question?
Of course.
Your presentation's been mainly sort of Instagram focused.
Yes.
Up till now, most of my social media has been Facebook, I think, pretty much because, you know, that's what I know. I know Facebook, don't really know Instagram.
Yeah.
My two girls, my daughters, 18 and 21, they're saying, Dad, why aren't you on Instagram? We don't see anything on Instagram. So I'm guessing it's kind of, there's a bit of a demographic thing going on between Facebook and Insta.
Totally. And I think know your demographic, because we, like I said, Peter, you're absolutely right to like flag this, because I think it's really important, because basically, again, Facebook, most people don't necessarily interact. They like to know what's happening, but you don't in our experience, you don't generate a load of leads through Instagram, because it's used to, like, people just check it, and it's of a certain generation, right? You know, Instagram is used, Facebook is used by those sort of over 35, 40-year-olds, because that's how it is. They don't tend to go, oh, I really like that, because they just look at it and they see it. So it's a really good tool of showing people what you're doing. However, the people moving, so here's the thing, right? If I'm listing a property and I'm going to a flat, I'm like, listen, guys, like, we're more than other agents, but you're going to get lots of value out of us, because the flat market, they use like all the first-time buyers are using Instagram, right? So you're going to get loads of value from us, because we're putting this out. You know, we're putting these videos out. Here they are. Like, people are watching this, and now, like I say, it's generating more business because of it. But you're right, Peter. You might say, I'm not interested in Instagram. All I'm going to do is put my video up there every time I list a property, right? Fine. You know, that Instagram likes videos, like that's what it's about. People like to look at nice properties. Yeah, they like to see that. So that's what Instagram's about. And they people might hashtag, like, I keep on using it as an example, but tiled hallways, and you come up, or basements. We will do little tiny videos sometimes. If there's a really cool feature about the house, I'll literally like pop out of a basement and it will get like 5,000 views. And because we just hashtagged it as cool basement, or like nice summer house, or like test, you know, or yeah, whatever it is that you want to put in there. So yeah, those are the things I like. And you're absolutely right. And just so that you know, Peter, as well, we use the same style. We use the same videos for Facebook. So they all roughly go on at the same, in terms of how we do the posts.
That's really good. Just a final question on that, please.
Yeah.
Where I've got, you know, a reasonable following on Facebook, I've I've got about 2 on Instagram, probably
Yeah.
my daughters. What's the best way for me to get my numbers up on Instagram? Is there a way that you can?
Yeah, I mean,
Trans-
obviously, we don't pay anyone. We've never bought anyone to be part of our Instagram following, and it does go up when your videos go a little bit better. It's about regular posting, not necessarily like spamming it out there, but you're like, this is what I'm going to post, and this is how I'm going to do it. The one thing I didn't touch on, which is more relevant with Instagram, and this is why it's important to make sure that it is you have to do interaction. And that's something that I probably should have mentioned before. The interacting is really key on Instagram. Basically, you have to schedule 15 minutes of your night where you go through and you like others, and that's how you get your followers. Right. So you go through, you like that property, you engage with someone, and you go, oh yeah, that's great. That's awesome. Comment on it. I mean, inane comments, but it helps Instagram know that you're acting on it. And that's why we pay Laura to do her job, because her job is to post for us and then to interact every night. And that's what helps you, basically. But I would say Facebook likes it as well. So if you ever get a comment, you have to spend the time getting back to them. It's really lame. I mean, I hate it, but it's true, right? You have to get back to them and say, oh, no, yeah, no, it is. Yeah, I don't know why this is like this is either. It's bollocks. I'm sorry, it is bollocks, but it's what gets them going. Fine. Listen, pay your daughter, Peter. Just say, literally, you're on it anyway. Here's 15 quid. Comment and like on every lovely property that gets posted on Instagram from my account.
15 quid, don't know my daughter.
Exactly. Just the thing you want to get away from is what we learn is that all your friends and your family members like it and share it. That's all you ever get on. Oh, this is nice. I like this one. And you're like, no one else bloody shares it. It's just like, this is useless for me, right? Like just the same 35 people sharing the and be careful not to just ask agents to follow as well. We get a lot of like, oh, give this some love. And I'm just like, be careful, because if it's the same 30 people following a post each time, it's not going to help you. What you're much better off doing is going 15 minutes. I'm going to like and share a load of other videos from someone for the next week and a half, right? Every night I'm going to go on and search properties that are like that. That will benefit you more than 15 random estate agents liking your videos.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Cool. I mean, we're nearly out of time. Any further questions from anyone that I will try my best to answer?
I've got a quick question.
Sure.
Do you do anything with like Facebook groups or anything like that at all?
We don't actually, and there's a massive part of that we should do. Like we should be on groups, and that's how Dom started. He tells great stories about how, not stories, and you know what I mean. He explains how he started in like local groups and posting stuff in there, and that is something that you can definitely look into, and I probably would do. The reality is again, it's knowing your audience. Like what we tend to find is that the more established and higher end homes you're dealing with, the less receptive someone is in groups, because they already think they know who they're going to choose as an agent, who their agent's going to be, because of reputation. Whereas if you're dealing with, let's say we've got an estate, locally, we will try and post things in groups, but it's not something that we've targeted. It's something that we could do better, and it's an easy win. One thing I would say about all of this is there's lots of other things that you can spend money on, which might give you some return, but essentially social media is free. And that's why it's attractive. But if you flip that and go, I was going to do 8, these many leaflets out and send those out, and that's what I was going to do. But you go, I'm actually only going to send X out, but I'm going to spend a little bit of money on social media, someone setting me up or helping me or telling me what I need to post, I'll get that sorted, and then I'm going to go from there. Then I would say that's a wise decision. Recently, for example, we sent out 2 drops of 35,000 leaflets in our local area. Again, this is off book, but we're now in a position where we can do that. I wasn't in a position where I could do that when I started. and we are seeing, you know, 5, 6, 7 listing inquiries from that. And with Instagram now, and that cost us, you know, a lot of money, over 10 or 12,000 pounds. Whereas with Instagram and Facebook, we paid Laura the same sort of money over a 1.5 year period, and I can probably give you the same numbers, 5 or 6, 7 listing appointments generated purely off the back of social media. But, you know, so it equates to similar. So, you know, if you're looking at them the same. Cool.
Well,
Any other questions? Yeah, go ahead.
Can you just go over again what you actually mean by interacting when you said interact of an evening? Interact with who?
You don't have to. So yeah, I mean, listen, Laura's the best to tell you this. But basically, you go what if you're. Let's take Instagram as an example, right? What you're interacting with is fellow, not, I wouldn't go estate agents, but local businesses. Anyone that's like doing stuff like in your local area that might be interesting, charities, for example, rugby clubs or tennis clubs, or like something that is like your thing, or search for something like that you like you might have a property coming on that's got lovely bay windows. Like, just search bay windows and see what comes up and say, oh yeah, this is nice. You don't have to spend, it doesn't have to be really insightful, but it's about interacting. And basically, if they start seeing you interacting, then they'll start, it will help your post, as I understand it. In a nutshell.
So it could be a local business, could be a local coffee shop, could be anything.
Yeah. I mean, the first thing you want to do is if you're starting is follow and like all of your local businesses, your coffee shops, everyone. Just follow and like them all. Don't follow a load of estate. Don't follow us. Like, you know, don't start following 15 estate agents. It will ruin what your chances are of finding the people. Like, won't, that's it's not true, but you know, you're getting the point. You've got to, like, you're all local agents. You're all people that know people. You all want to help people. So come at it from that perspective rather than I'm trying to sell.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. It's time for oh no, we're over time.
Can I just
yes.
So
sure.
Apparently Instagram works better on a vertical aspect, whereas Facebook is on a horizontal. So
sure.
if you're going to do something on Instagram, can that just quite as easily, what I'm trying to say is, can I just do one thing on Instagram and then share it to Facebook? Will it work as well because it's in a different format?
Again, I'm on the fringes of my knowledge here. Yes, it will, and you can post from Instagram directly to Facebook. However, like you say, there's different. You know, if you're obviously Instagram much prefers portrait over landscape. I don't think necessarily that Facebook prefers landscape, but realistically, you can post directly on there. But what we try and do is when we're posting the pictures, obviously they go on to Facebook and they will go properly. So you don't want to post everything from Instagram directly onto Facebook, as I understand it. Again, now I'm at the fringes of my knowledge, so I don't want to tell you something that's not right. But I would suggest, I will put in the group, if KW are happy for me to do an introduction to Laura, if someone wants to have a discovery call with her. I'm not discussed it with her, so I will pick up the phone to her if someone wants to have that. But maybe some tips for everyone. Cool. Listen, guys, thank you so much. I'm sorry if you think I'm a bit of a fraud. I felt a bit like that, but there you go. I'm just trying to describe what we've done. So I really appreciate everyone jumping on that's on the call, and good luck with your weeks ahead. I hope they're busy ones, and that you get some listing appointments or some listings on.
Thank you, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks so much.
Tom.
Cheers.
Have a lovely day. Yeah, see you soon.
Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.